apologizing to him for the abuse. Then we have another type of abuser that's becoming more and more common with dating apps, and that's the player. The player knows how to make women fight among themselves about him. The player typically dates several women at a time and will put them against each other. He will often do it so he will date some attractive women, some less attractive women, and will make them hate each other because of this. It's difficult to keep track of his relationships because he's often breaking up and then he's getting together again. So nobody really knows how many relationships he has at the same time. These guys are the type of guys that often in the beginning as well want to commit, they want to get married, they want to create a family with this girl, but as commitment draws closer, they don't feel ready to take that step yet because they're maintaining so many relationships at a time. These guys are becoming more and more successful with dating apps just because they are able to present a front where they're, for example, just a single guy looking for a girl, but often their stories don't add together. Often they're dating 20 people at the same time. If they're married, they say they're just about to get divorced, which turns out not to be true, and so on. Often the players somehow present themselves as victims as well. They will say they have a sex addiction, for example, or they're just so passionate that they need a lot of love and sex in their life, and if the woman can't give it to them, they have no other way but looking elsewhere for it. Now, he's not actually interested in sex. He's interested in his own ego. He gets a kick out of seducing different women. And often he gets a kick of seducing women that are really difficult to seduce as well. How do you know if you're being abused? Is yelling abusive? Is somebody being abusive just because they scream at you? Is somebody abusive just because they get angry and they say something bad sometimes? The easiest and safest way to know if you're being abused is by looking at how you feel. If you feel like your own feeling about yourself and your self-worth is following that curve, if you're feeling great about yourself in the beginning, but you're feeling more and more afraid, you're feeling like you're walking on eggshells, you're feeling like nothing you ever do can satisfy him, you're feeling less interested in social life, you're feeling your energy is declining, you're feeling stressed, you're feeling depressed, and like nothing is fun. Those are usually signs of abuse, because often with these democratic abusers, they're like neutron bombs, like they don't destroy actual things or leave physical marks. And often you can't even tell, like with a guy like this, you can't even tell what it is that he's doing exactly. You don't have names for it. What is it that he's doing that is driving you so crazy that you don't know what's right and wrong anymore? So often what you're feeling is that you're the problem, that you're feeling like nothing in your life is fun anymore, you don't like to go out anymore. And often every time he does something, he will say he's sorry. Now the point is not to listen to what he says, but check what he does. Sorry doesn't help. Often saying sorry is also a way to put you back into that cycle again. Because what happens when you break up with these guys? Well, several things can happen. First, you can start with something called hoovering. Hoovering is when all of a sudden turns nice. Hoovering is when all of the things you were complaining about all of a sudden start happening. Like maybe you told him, you gotta clean up here. He starts cleaning up. You told him you have to go to the gym. He starts going to the gym. You told him you have to stop drinking. All of a sudden he stops drinking. So now you think, I'm seeing real change. But as soon as he has you in the cycle again, it will start over. Another thing that might happen when you break up with an abuser is increased violence. And this is why breaking up is so dangerous. And this is why when a woman leaves a relationship like this, she really needs support. What can happen is the guy can spread rumors about the woman, that she's on drugs, that she's unfaithful, that she's a bad mother, and he can actually have a lot of people believing those rumors. He can also stop taking care of himself to make people feel pity on him. Oh, look what a mess he's in because she left him, poor guy, she needs to come back and take care of him, and so on. So the problem is with the laws that were able to target the previous type of abuser don't really work well with these abusers. And a lot of the time, even equality laws, such as laws that we've had, for example, in my country about custody, these men are able to get custody of the children just because they haven't left marks, visible marks. Maybe the woman is the one that turns out to be crazy. A lot of the time, this type of guy will drive the woman so crazy that she will start taking drugs, she will start drinking more and more, she might even be abusive to her children because of the way he's driving her crazy. And this will lead to him getting custody of the children. But I think the biggest problem also is the social circles. A lot of these new abusers escape attention by the social circles, meaning that everybody knows the Rambo type. Everybody knows the Rambo type is an abusive guy. Now, if you see Mr. Sensitive, you don't see it. So most of you probably have an abuser in your near surroundings that you are denying that this guy is an abuser. Most of you probably have an abused person in your surroundings that you're not realizing that these people are being abused, because most likely you would say, oh, no, not her. She's very strong. Now, you know that these types of abusers are attracted by strong people. Why? Because they want something to crush. They don't think it's fun when a person's already crushed because there's no challenge. They specifically target strong people because then there is a challenge. There's something they can work on, right? And often, strong people will make resistance. Now, we know that in an abusive relationship, resisting the abuse will actually speed up the traumatic bonding, because when the woman resists, she will also maybe name call, or she will also maybe hit him back, or she will do something like throw a table. And when she does that, she will be inside the cycle, and she will see that she's also doing this. Because the abuser's last accomplishment is when the woman looks in the mirror and she sees him. She's turned into him. She started behaving like him. And by that time, she can't even leave because she feels she needs to clear off the things in the marriage or in the relationship that made her this way. And she feels she's also responsible. It's at this point that you would talk about destructive relationships or really passionate relationships, or relationships where both people are abusing each other technically. And that is because you have that type of abuse that isn't clear cut, that doesn't really need signs, and that makes the woman turn out like she's the crazy person. So you might think if you see a strong person, this person cannot be abused, but actually what's really happening is this person will fall deeper and deeper and deeper down in the abuse, just because a response to the abuse will trigger a feeling in her that will then tie her more to the abuser. I think I've talked for too long, actually, so I'm going to stop here and see if you guys have questions or maybe experiences or opinions to share on the subject. I don't know what happened to the translator who was sitting right here. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Here I am.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's a microphone to pass around, or should I pass this one around?